All right, guys, welcome back to the CSN All-Stars Show Match Series, week number 2 between Ryung and Sleep. Of course, last week was Minigun against Alive, and these guys, they've used the same color throughout this entire series, and they've decided to change it up a little bit. So Promise, as you introduce, I'm going to change up the overlay.
Sure. So we are playing here on GSL Belshire Beach, the Winter Edition. We are going to have Sleep against Ryung. In the left position, playing as the red Zerg player, we're going to have xSixSleep. And his opponent in the right position here of Belshire Beach, we're going to have the blue Terran player named Zerg, but this guy is actually SlayerSRyung. He is currently up 3-1 in his best of 7 series. You know what that means? It means there is one remaining game for our Terran player. If he wins this, he is going to win the best of 7, man. He is going to take $100. Sleep is going to take $25, but Sleep is going to make a difference. He is going to win this game. He is going to bring it to another match because I know Sleep can do that.
Yeah, man, and we are live on the North American server. It
Yes,
is 9:07 p.m. my time on Tuesday night. Hopefully everyone's having a great day. Hopefully everyone had a great day at work or school, whatever you're doing. And we got some GSL going on tonight. I know I'm staying up for that. Are you staying up for that, man?
Absolutely.
Because I don't have class tomorrow.
Okay, let's see this. Why are you staying up?
Why am I staying up? Why wouldn't I?
Who are you looking for to watch?
Nanywa.
Who are you looking forward to
Nanywa
watch?
plays tonight, dude.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Good.
man. Foreigner Hope. And only Protoss and Terran left in the GSL. Pretty intense.
MVP is gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard. But
Yeah,
he can do it.
Nanywa, he's like super confident. Have you seen his tweets?
I've been like looking the thread by Caldor. He's like he's talking about how much he's practicing. He's playing so many games, and the Koreans don't even want to play anymore. They're sick and tired. So Nanywa is doing it really big, man. He
wants it.
He's not joking around. He
wants it.
He's looking for blood, and I think he can do it.
Should be interesting to see. And we have a 2-racks opening here from Ryung, and he's not being shy about it. He's showing it to his opponent. Sleep knows exactly what's going on. We'll have to see how he reacts. Getting that pull down, it's about 40% of the way done. No gas just yet. So he might just try to go for the quick double queen, which is definitely viable, and then just rely on that to defend against this marine aggression rather than going for a quicker speed. So yeah, it's interesting. Sleep definitely has a lot of work to do, and look at this bunker going on the low ground. Look at this nifty positioning on this bunker.
Yeah, he has this.
Is that like a little nook? Can you you can't go through these plants, can you?
I don't know, but Sleep's actually pulling drones. He's pulling 5 drones. Just the mere fact that his pull was a little bit late, looks like he eventually will try to focus down some of these SCVs. The SCV is still building the bunker.
Yeah, man.
He needs to kill that. There we go. He's going to pull even more drones, and he might actually just be able to kill the SCV, but the SCV is still alive. The bunker finishes, but the Marines are actually a little bit
he needs to kill the Marine.
Not near the bunker. He might try to focus down some of the
Oh,
Marines.
no.
Okay, he's gonna get a nice round of one Marine. One Marine's gonna go down. The Marines are still focusing down some of these drones. More drones going down. The Marines are going to get cleaned up, but at the same time, what is the follow-up here from Ryung? It seems like he's going to continue SCV production and maybe even expand. There's an SCV making its way here to the natural. But yeah, man, overall, nice attempt by Ryung, but Sleep did a good job of holding it, but lost a few drones in that process.
He lost a lot, man. He lost a lot of mining time. We see all these lings in the field that could have been drones. And it just seems like most of these games from the beginning, Ryung is able to do a significant amount of economic damage and get himself, maybe not necessarily a huge lead, but give himself some breathing room in the game. And when you're playing against a player like Ryung and you're already starting off with somewhat of a handicap, you're already starting off a little bit behind, it's going to be extremely difficult to come back. But we saw Sleep is definitely up to it. He's up to the task. He almost had it on Shakura's Plateau. It went to a 50-minute game. Or 40 minutes, I don't remember how long it was. It was crazy
like
long,
55
though.
minutes.
Yeah, and it was absolutely a ridiculous game. So Sleep, while he is behind here once again, just like all these other games, he can still do it.
He can make it happen.
Don't count him out. Don't count him out.
Yeah, he can do some pretty crazy things and push it to a pretty late game. But at this point, there's a lot of Marines on the map right now for Ryung. Sleep is going to spend this time to try to get additional harvesters on the map. Still making drones. There is metabolic boost on the way. For Sleep, there is a spine crawler at the natural. This is smart. Any kind of maybe marine push, any kind of Hellion follow-up, that spine crawler will be able to help out in defense for the Zerg player. But at this point, there is another barracks being thrown down for Ryung and a very quick third expansion. It seems like Ryung really likes favoring a very quick third in the TVZ matchup. I don't blame him just because he's able to put on damage to the Zerg, force them to play defensive, while in the meanwhile he expands on his own. But there is a bunch more Lings on the map right now. Marines trying to focus down some of these Lings. Nice little Q micro here by Ryung. He will be able to clean this up rather easily. Actually, Lings are just going to run away. And at this point, more drones in production. Metabolic boost almost done for Sleep. And Marines, very, very aggressive move here by Ryung. What do you think of this? Just hanging out with Marines on creep?
I think he's just keeping his opponent in check. I don't expect him to go up the ramp there, just trying to take some map control, and he's going to go right back to the watchtower. And yeah, man, go for that fast third. Not too surprised by that. Again, if you get a lead like he has right now, what is the Zerg player going to do when you have just one ramp leading to your natural expansion? Try to Baneling bust it? But Ryung is going to be on top of his scouting. He's going to make sure he can identify if that's on the way. Did he see this third going down from his opponent? No, he hasn't, but that Marine will probably go in that direction and scout that out. So yeah, Ryung just extending his lead here, just trying to stay ahead economically and overall in this game, getting a factory on the field, 2 factories I should say, adding on a tech lab, so we'll have to see if he goes for that blue flame play again, and he has 4 racks existing on the field as well, so might get stim pretty soon, and we might see some sort of Marine Hellion timing attack that could do a lot of damage to Sleep.
Yeah, that's something I'm quickly discovering from Ryung, and actually just as you say that, there's a Marine making its way, so he is going to see that third expansion from Sleep. But yeah, Ryung seems to really favor Hellion Marine timings against Zerg. If you notice, sometimes it's Blue Flames, sometimes it's just Reactor Hellions. It's very good, and sometimes he even accompanies it with a few medevacs, but the thing is there's no early starport on the map yet for Ryung. In fact, he's going to get both gases here at the natural. Third is completed. All he really needs to do is float it over to that expansion, but he's only going to make SCVs at this point. And what is Sleep doing? There is a Roach Horn on the way for Sleep. There is the third expansion just getting finished. Upgrades on the way with melee attacks level 1, as well as his Carapace level 1s for his ground units. And at this point, supply lead for Ryung, 73. He's supply blocked, 73 out of 73. There we go, 74 compared to 57 of Sleep. And the question is, man, is Ryung going to be aggressive before he takes the third, or is he going to go ahead and just play it passive, expand, build his advantage, maybe even go for medevacs here very soon, although there's no starport, so that a little bit late on the starport here from Ryung.
I think he's just going to go for a Marine Hellion push and just try to time it behind Blue Flame, also at the same time, moving his third over to take it down. So what I expect him to do here is go right after that third, maybe deny that, and maybe then return home. What he could do, however, is advance into the natural expansion, take that out, and just try to kill his opponent, but that would be a lot more risky, whereas if he just goes directly for the third, I'm pretty sure he could take that out right now. However, do have a Baneling Nest on the way for Sleep, some roaches in production as well, so he kind of sniffs out that something scary is happening, has that Zergling at the watchtower, sees all those Marines and all those Hellions, and we'll have to see how much damage Ryung can do here.
Yeah, Ryung really just moving around the map right now with his Hellions and Marines, even going to use a scan, limiting some of the creep tumors. But what units does Sleep have? He has 4 Banelings, 6 Roaches, and 3 Lings. Hellions trying to make their way into the third. They get a few drone kills, but Sleep overall, I think, will be able to hold it off. And again, just look at what Ryung's doing. He's not even committing to this, and this is such a smart choice. He's showing his units, he's showing the aggression, he's pulling back. There we go, we see the third up. Very smart by the Ling of Sleep. He is going to see that third expansion, and what is he going to do? Is he going to trigger an attack, or is he going to continue making drones? It seems like he's like, alright man, take your third, I will make my drones, and let's go ahead and play the economic game.
Sleep trying to take some units off guard here, but Ryung has too much, and Sleep not going to want to engage that. And this is really cool play from Ryung, just trying to scare his opponent a little bit, try to, you know, force him to make some units rather than those drones that'll make the Zerg army so much stronger later on in the game. Just applying a little bit of pressure, not necessarily committing any units, not necessarily losing any units either, microing away those Blue Flame Hellions, pecking away a lot of those Zerglings, taking out some creep in the process. So again, Ryung playing this really well, keeping his Zerg opponent in check. While behind this, I think he added on 2 additional factories, getting some upgrades out of his armory, finishing up stim, finishing up +1 out of his engineering bay, making some tanks here, and keeping the Hellion production up as well, getting siege on the way. So you know, Ryung just getting himself set up for the late game, has his third ups, has that saturated, adding on a gas there, and he feels super comfortable right now. So I'm wondering what Sleep's gonna do. It's up to Sleep now. Like, again, you said it, this third gets up from the Terran player, and you haven't really done much to try to deny that. So do you make a bunch of units and try to attack it, or do you take a quick base of your own? So it's almost decision time for Sleep here.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even seem like Sleep is maybe going to take a fourth here anytime soon. His units are towards the left side, so maybe he's going to take a fourth, but this is absolutely the timing where Ryung transitions into Thors. We are going to see a few Thors. Also, siege tanks are now on the map. And the fourth is now going to try to come up here at the right side. The Marine will scout it. That Marine's quickly going to go down. But at the same time, man, 148 supply for Ryung, 126 sleep. Trying to, actually Ryung trying to move across the map towards the left side. Not going to be aggressive yet again. Just pulling back, getting his gases at the third. Continuing his Marine Thor production. 3 Thors on the way right now. That's a lot of Thors. Once these Thors hit, he's going to have, I think, 4 or even 5 Thors on the map. And Thors are good against this composition.
Thors are good
on the way.
against
Yeah,
anything.
Thors are just good, man. Infestation Pit on the way, so that's a good option here. Infestors would be good against this mech army, which is exactly what Sleep's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have to neural parasite pretty much everything. This fourth is going to get denied. There's not much he can do, but he's going to nope. Sieging up his tanks is Ryung. A very nice positioning there. And Sleep possibly getting taken off guard. Looks like he's going to try to go for a counterattack with some Lings, Roaches, and Banelings at the bottom left-hand side. There's a Thor, plenty of Marines, 2 Thors, and 2 Hellions here to try to deal with this. He now knows this is going on, stimming forward his Marines to try to deal with this composition of his opponent. It looks like he will have enough. Sleep forced to back away. Just lost his fourth. Ryung still has 3 bases at 165 supply. His opponent's at 149. And I feel like Ryung is just going to keep adding on units and just might attack like right as he's maxed. And I don't know what Sleep can do about it. But he's shown resilience in the past, so I certainly wouldn't put it past him to be able to hold it off. But it's definitely going to be a challenge.
And like Ryung is so good at just showing his units on the map and not even attacking at all. He just pulls back. He killed the fourth. He's like, okay, I'm going to kill your fourth. And he pulls back. He controls the watchtowers. He is ahead in supply, 179 to 156 of Sleep. The army composition of Sleep is very Roach-Ling heavy. He doesn't really have only 6 Banlings on the map right now. So once these armies engage, I think it's going to be pretty easy here for Ryung, especially with those siege tanks. Once they get the shots on the Roach, it's going to be so easy for him to clean it up. But there is a fourth now on the way for Ryung in the bottom left position. So he's just looking to expand all over the map. But at the same time, there is an engagement. Lings actually get a decent surround on this mech army of Ryung, and it gets cleaned up so fast. Oh my god, the Lings just... I don't know if you saw the Lings, but they just completely surrounded everything. Siege tanks are still remaining. Looks like overall Sleep will be able to clean it up. Roach is focusing down some of these units. Sleep, is he going to clean this up? Maybe not, actually. The siege tank survives, so Ryung loses a lot, but he's going to come out on top in this engagement.
Yeah, I mean, Sleep, handled that almost the best he could have. I mean, if I had to be like... I want more players to try to flank and stuff, try to send some units behind, attack the tanks from the back, rather than just attacking up one choke. But, I mean, you said it, man, like Sleep, he just right-clicked his Lings as fast as he could. The Marines were stimming and terrifyingly running away, but the Lings were able to get us around, hold those units in place so they couldn't kite anymore. Because ideally for Ryung, he runs his Marines all the way past the tanks and lets the tanks do a bunch of damage. But Ryung wasn't able to do that. Looks like a counterattack happening from Sleep, attacking the fourth base at the bottom left. It's going to be canceled and lifted. It is burning, though, so it needs to get repaired pretty soon here. At the same time, Marines and a Hellion advance to the top right-hand side of the map to once again deny the fourth from Sleep. And again, Ryung just playing this so well.
And there's actually Lings in the third now of Ryung trying to do some damage on the economy, taking out a bunch of SCVs, Hellions, 2 Hellions only, and a few, actually 1 siege tank will be able to do some damage. So both players kind of losing something there. The expansion goes down for Sleep. Ryung loses a few SCVs. But that command center in the bottom left, man, please don't burn. Please don't burn. And there's another expansion at the frontal expansion. So Ryung is going to be on 5 bases if that command center doesn't die. But yeah, man, 148 supply right now for the Terran, 122 for Sleep. Sleep very, very desperate for an expansion. He really needs a fourth. He is actually going to try to take that left expansion as the fourth. But
again,
it's
going to burn. I think it's going to die.
It's lifted. I mean, he knows about it. It's gonna survive. But yeah, Ryung has map control at this point. He can do whatever he pleases. He can continue expanding. He can, maybe do a tech change. There is a starport on its way. The fourth now is actually going to be that front expansion here for Ryung. At the same time, the fourth is done for Sleep, but it is going to get denied yet again by Ryung. And Ryung just playing so well, just denying expansions left and right, and this is what you need to do against Zerg.
It's exactly what you have to do. Ryung playing the Terran race incredibly nicely, saturating this fourth base at the middle right-hand location. Has a planetary fortress there as well. Good luck engaging that, and this pretty much protects this entire side of the map. at least this one pathway. Of course, the additional pathway is the pathway that Ryung's main army is on. So Ryung just, it looks like he's continuing to poke in between each of these fourth bases, dropping some Marines into the main base of Sleep. Has to be careful though, does not want to be fungled and taken off guard, but he's just going to be just fine moving out of there. And look at this, 6 Broodlords are on the way for Sleep. So another one of the situations where he's forced to, you know, just tech up really hard on 3 bases and try to make something happen, just be really cost efficient, and we'll have to see how it pays off for him. There are some Vikings on the way for Ryung though, so definitely has sniffed this out.
Yeah, he actually sees the Greater Spire, so he knows it's exactly coming. It's on its way. Immediately making Vikings. More Corruptors on the way for Sleep. He does have a few Broodlords on the map right now. 6 total. A bunch of Corruptors, a bunch of Infestors, 8 Infestors. So once these units actually group up, they can be pretty scary. But the supply advantage, again, still in the favor of Ryung. Upgrades also in the favor of... They are in the favor of Ryung. He's on 3-3. The Broodlords are actually 0-0. Lings are 2-2. And there's engagement. Looks like there is Bungles being thrown down, Infested Terrans being thrown down, and Broodlords are actually doing a lot of damage, but there's already Vikings on the map. 4 Vikings are going to be able to clean up this Broodlord force rather easily. They are going to go down though, but huge supply lead now, 156 to 108. Ryung does a pretty easy job of defending that. And at the same time, there is actually a few medevacs with Marines. Is he going to go for the drop? He is going to load it up. There will be a drop in the main here of Sleep.
Yeah, Ryung playing this so well, so well. At the same time that engagement's happening outside of his planetary fortress, he just denied another expansion from his opponent, and now he's dropping inside the main base, stimming forward. But there are Zerglings there, so he's going to quickly lift off those Marines, and then again advancing to this 4th base at the top right-hand side of the map. And that's not going to finish. There are some Infestors here, but only a few of them have energy. Broodlords coming forward as well. Are there Vikings in this composition?
No, there's a Viking by the planetary fortress, but.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you can just kill those with Thors.
Yeah, that's actually a lot of Thors. It's not too many Broodlords. But yeah, he's actually trying to split him around. That's kind of cute by Sleep. But yeah, Thors, you know, they do some damage against the Broodlords. Overall, I think Sleep, is he going to clean this up? There's actually...
Thors are so powerful.
There we go. Yeah, Thors actually don't die. But yeah, Infested Terrans, Lings, and Broodlords will clean it up. And the supply count now not so much in the favor of Ryung anymore. It's actually almost even, 107 to 119. But the problem is that expansion again. That's pretty much what's been happening in the previous games as well for Sleep. Very hard for him to secure a 4th, which is what he's trying to do. Even going to try to double expand towards the upper right as well as that front left expansion. But Ryung, you know, he is going to take that bottom left expansion, even going to make that a planetary fortress. So
yeah, man, why not?
He's just expanding all over the place, making the right units, and it's very hard to attack into planetary fortresses. As Zerg, especially with this composition right now from Sleep.
Sleep, he's playing like a hero, man, and he's been playing like a hero this entire series. Again, he's been behind this entire game, but being so cost efficient with his units that Ryung is just having so much trouble actually killing him. And if you're hard to kill in the game of StarCraft 2, you're doing things right. As Ryung's advancing toward the top left-hand side of the map. Sleep has some Infestors here. Where are those Broodlords being morphed in? There's about 5 there, ready to engage at the same time. Marines moving up to the top right-hand location, going to try to deny this expansion. And Ryung just, again, continuing to build that death ball. It's only a matter of time before he pushes and tries to kill this pesky Zerg player who refuses to give in.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like Ryung is just playing around with Sleep. He's just killing his expansions and not even attacking. He's just killing him, pulling it back, making more units, killing expansions, pulling back. And Sleep's like, alright man, I've had enough of this. He's making more Broodlords, making Infestors. And there's still actually a bunch of Vikings, so Ryung is actually in a good position.
Yeah, Ryung just has so much stuff right now, so much Terran stuff. His economy is pretty darn good. Again, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. 52 harvesters there, and of course a large majority of that economy will come from mules, considering he has, I think, 3 orbital commands. Yes, he does. So yeah, I'm just wondering when he's going to go for the death blow. He's almost maxed here, and that should trigger a timing. Looks like he's loading up some Marines into a medevac and try to drop into the main base of his opponent. And this is cool play from Ryung. He's clearing out overlords, which denies vision from his opponent, so he won't necessarily see these drops, this drop that is incoming. And at the same time, a drop going to the top right hand location, going to try to deny this 4th yet again. Sleep has some units in position there, but Ryung is maxed here. Ryung is maxed, and when you're maxed, that's usually when you're going to push. So look out. Ryung's army is actually a little bit ridiculous, and I would expect him to push at any moment here as he drops in the 3rd